After you have imported your existing ground and created your geometry, you may want to view the surface in a profile view. The first thing you would need to do is select your geometry, hover over the geometry, and select the Open Profile Model option, which is the second option from the left. You may notice that it's asking you in the bottom left-hand corner to select or open view. We will open view number 3 and data point. You may notice that the profile is empty or the vertical geometry is displaying in the profile view, but the surface is missing. This may be due to the fact that the active terrain has not been defined. You may now define the active terrain by selecting the terrain boundary and selecting the second option, which is set as active terrain model. Once the terrain has been set active, you will see the existing ground line in the profile view. Now you may notice that the terrain line is showing in white. We can verify the correct feature definition by checking the properties of the line, by selecting the terrain line and hovering over the line and selecting properties. You will notice that the feature definition for this terrain model is existing ground. We can go to the Project Explorer and look for the existing ground feature definition and search for the surface feature definition under the existing ground name. Right click and go to Properties. We will notice that the profile has a native style of existing ground. In our case, we will want to define an element template for our existing ground to display in profiles. So if we go to an element template in MicroStation, we can expand the DGN or the DGNlib file that we are in and notice that we have one folder called Terrain. If we expand the Terrain folder, we'll notice that we already have a template called Existing Ground. And when we look at the properties, we'll notice that only calculated feature display and calculated feature settings are used in the properties. We may now go back to the properties for the feature definition and change the element template to existing ground. We may do so by right-clicking on the native style and deleting the style. That will allow you to use the drop-down list in the element template to navigate to your correct element template. If we deselect the line in the profile view, we'll notice that the line is still white. We will now need to make the adjustments in the element template so that we can change the display in the profile view. If you right-click on the properties for the element templates and select Add, we will now select General Settings. We will add levels. We will add color, line style, and weight. Now if we make the adjustments, we can change the level to be existing ground, change the color to be purple, change the line style to be a dashed line, and the weight to be 2. If we notice during our adjustments, we were able to see the changes instantaneously in the profile view in OpenRoads.